The Doctrine and Devotion West Coast Conference is going down Saturday, September 28th in Rancho Santa Margarita, California. Contending for the gospel, protecting orthodoxy, and promoting unity is already open for registration. Be sure and hit the link in the show notes and stay tuned for more details. Welcome to Doctrine and Devotion, a podcast exploring Christian faith and practice from a Reformed Baptist perspective. My name is Joe Thorne. I'm the lead pastor of Redeemer Fellowship in St. Charles, Illinois.
And I'm Jimmy Fowler, executive pastor at Redeemer Fellowship.
How you doing, man?
I'm here.
But how are you? You feeling good?
Not today.
It's a good day. It's a good day. It's the day the Lord has made. You know.
Yes.
And so even when like comets crash into the earth and kill off all the dinosaurs, still the day the Lord made.
It's still
was it a comet crashing into the earth kind of a day for you?
Close.
A little bit.
It grazed the atmosphere.
You know how I know Jimmy had like a really challenging day, and it wasn't church related. It was with his vocation. You know how I know it was a really challenging day?
How do you know?
Because everybody's been telling you that's close to you that you need a vacation for the last several weeks, and you're like, no, I don't need a vacation.
Yeah.
And then today, you went and bought tickets.
Yeah, well, once the day happened at Grace, I was like, I bought the tickets. I said, Michelle, we're leaving.
We're going on vacation. That's a working vacation, so you're going to go away, going to take the family. It's going to be a real nice time. But while you're away, you're going to have to do some work.
I'll do some work, yeah. Bring a book. I'm actually going to bring that.
Where's my copy?
Oh, he didn't get one. You didn't get one.
Yeah, I know I did because you told me I did. You messed that up.
Yeah.
Where's that? What, Humble Calvinism?
Humble Calvinism by Metters. Yep, I'm going to bring that. And
I don't have it. Where is it?
Yours must be in the mail.
Mm-hmm. No, I know you got two copies.
Nope, yours must be in the mail.
Right. All right. Hey, Jeff, your book's terrible, and I'm going to review it right now. Since you didn't send it to me, so I'm going to have to wing it. Hey, Jeff, first of all, your spelling is way off. Okay. There's lots of misspellings. Was it Lifeway do the copy editing on this thing? Anyway.
Good book company, but yeah, good.
No, that's why I said Lifeway, because they have a lot of mistakes in their book productions.
Yes. Good joke.
Yeah, it was good for people that know that little tiny factoid. Hey man, are your kids getting ready for school? Are they pumped?
Yeah, they're getting ready, getting all the school supplies, and that's why we're going to hit this vacation before they go to school and go away for a week before they start in a new school, new community. They're pretty excited.
Yeah. So super white school.
Very diverse, actually.
Oh, really? It's very diverse? Because it's like the whitest city, I think, in Chicagoland, Naperville.
See, maybe.
But the school itself is very diverse.
The school, is extremely diverse.
It's a really good school. It's a classical Christian school with that has really good. I've known teachers there, and man, all three of your kids are going. They're going to get wicked smart. Hopefully, righteous smart. Righteous smart.
Yeah, righteous smart.
They don't want to get wicked smart.
No, righteous smart.
It's going to be
now.
Good.
I see your kids went to school. I saw Jen posted some photos.
Everybody in this area that isn't going to like some highfalutin classical Christian education school.
So mean.
A lot of their kids went to school today, and so what do parents do? Like moms in particular, like to take pictures of their kids standing
holding
in front
a
of
sign or something
in the front door. They're outside the front door.
Yeah.
Here we go to school, and I'm like, hey Jen, why are you taking a picture in front of the fireplace? Do it in front of our brand new front door. Got that black front door. It's all nice now. The lighting's really good out there. She goes, I do it in front of the fireplace. I go, but everybody does it outside. You should do it outside. She's like, I'm doing it in front of the fireplace. There's better lighting outside. She's like, I'm doing it in front of the fireplace. I said, fine, just do it here and then do one in front of the front door. She's like, fine. So we take this picture. And I tried, and I got a terrible one. She got a good one. And I go, all right, let's go outside. We're 5 minutes early. The bus is on the way. We're 5 minutes early. We get out there, and our kids stand over here, and then here comes the bus. 5 minutes early. I said, Jen, I'm going to give her the look. She goes, do not give her the look. I said, I'm going to give her the look. I'm going to give her the look. She's early. And she says, it's not her fault. And I said, what are you talking about? She's the only one driving the bus. Of course it's her fault.
It's got to be her fault.
I'm giving her the look for being this early.
But hold on. If she's 5 minutes early, it doesn't mean the kids had to get on the bus.
Yeah, I got all anxious and it felt pressure. That's why I gave her the look. I gave her the look like, hey.
So they were anxious. They felt the pressure. That means you did not pray the prayer of Calvin.
That's what we're going to talk about today. Because with all of our kids going back to school, and some of you guys going back to school, some of you are going back to college, you're going back into your seminary classes, Bible college, med school. Like we got all kinds of people that listen. So whether you're going back to school or your kids are going back to school, we wanted to talk through this great prayer by John Calvin. You can find this in the multi-volume set of his Tracts and Letters through Banner of Truth.
We're going to link that?
Oh, it'll be linked in the show notes. And so the prayer that we want to read is a prayer on preparing to go to school. So really, this is a prayer that you would pray as a student.
Yeah.
But it's also really good for parents to have this in mind. So this gives you some clues as to how to pray.
Okay, so where does Calvin start off on? What psalm is he looking at?
I don't have my glasses on yet, so why don't you go ahead? I got to find my glasses. I got to put them on.
Come on, put them on.
Tell me.
No, I'm going to let you go ahead and do this. Psalm, go ahead.
All right. I got my
Come
glasses
on, page
now.
96.
Just give me a second. God, why are you rushing me?
This is
I
so
thought you
great.
would do it. All right. Well, he's in this psalm.
Yeah, go ahead. Which psalm? Those are Roman numerals.
Okay, I can figure it out. CXIX9. Okay, so I can figure this out. All right.
What does C mean?
Okay. C is. I can do it. I think it's 50. 69. Psalm 69:9. I think that's what it is. Is it Psalm 69? You're setting me up to do this. You're such a jerk. That's why nobody likes you, Jimmy. That's why you have to take a vacation. Am I right? Did I read the Roman numeral? You can't even tell me.
So someone did not go to the classical Christian education school that my children are going to.
I didn't learn Latin and Roman numerals. I learned America.
All right, let me go. I will go ahead. So the psalm says...
Wait, no, but what psalm is it?
Go ahead, Joe.
No, I asked you. Did you Google it?
No, I didn't. It's 69.9.
It is 69.9.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. All right. I was right. So why are you making fun of me? I figured it out. I had to look at it. I go, see, I think it's 50. And then I could do the rest. The thing is, L and C, you can get them mixed up sometimes.
Yeah, you really can.
Okay.
All right. So do you want to read the psalm or you're going to...
I need a break. Why don't you read it?
Psalm 69:9. Wherein shall a young man establish his way? If he wisely conduct himself according to thy word, with my heart have I sought thee. Allow me not to err from thy precepts.
Good stuff. And so we're gonna go ahead and read this. It's just a couple of paragraphs.
Okay.
And then we're gonna talk through it, all right?
All right, why don't you go ahead and start?
All right. O Lord, who art the fountains of all wisdom and learning, since thou of thy special goodness has granted that my youth is instructed in good arts which may assist me to honest and holy living, grant also by enlightening my mind, which otherwise labors under blindness, that I may be fit to acquire knowledge, strengthen my memory faithfully to retain what I may have learned, and govern my heart that I may be willing and even eager to profit, lest the opportunity which thou now givest me be lost through my sluggishness. Be pleased, therefore, to infuse thy spirit into me, the spirit of understanding, of truth, of judgment, of prudence, lest my study be without success, and the labor of my teacher be in vain. In whatever kind of study I engage, enable me to remember to keep its proper end in view, namely, to know thee in Christ Jesus thy Son. And may everything that I am learning assist me to observe the right rule of godliness. And seeing thou promise that thou wilt bestow wisdom on babes, and such as are humble, and the knowledge of thyself on the upright in heart, while thou declarest that thou wilt cast down the wicked and the proud, so that they will fade away in their ways, I entreat that thou wouldst be pleased to turn me to true humility. Thus I may show myself teachable and obedient, first of all to thyself, and then to those who by thy authority are placed over me. Be pleased at the same time to root out all vicious desires from my heart and inspire it with an earnest desire of seeking thee. Finally, let the only end at which I aim to be so to qualify myself in early life, that when I grow up, I may serve thee in whatever station thou mayest assign me. Amen.
Amen.
I love that prayer.
Fantastic. From
So
Psalm
good.
119:9. It's
Psalm 119:9?
Yeah, I was going to let you sit here for the
you
rest.
didn't know either. Do the Roman numerals thing. Who does the Roman? It's like when the movies, they do the Roman numeral number at the bottom to tell you what year the movie came out. You ever see that? Super annoying. How am I supposed to know what that is?
Goodness.
Roman numerals.
I thought you were smart, Joe.
Yeah. No, I never said I was smart. Just smarter than you. Okay. Just so happy.
I'm so happy.
I'm so
with
glad to bring you joy on the day of disaster.
Okay, so in the first paragraph here, Joe, what sticks out to you there? I mean, as I'm going through this, we talks about that granted that my youth is instructed in good arts, which may assist me to honest and holy living. Right. So here is what the goal is. Right. Here's what this goal of education, or at least one of the goals are.
Right.
Is to honest and holy living.
It's a good thing, right? I mean, we think about going to school and like, when you're a kid, maybe you're a young person, you're thinking, I'm just wasting my time. When am I ever going to use this? Or like, what, this class isn't relevant? Or
what's the point of going to this, or even going to class, or even doing any of my work? And so I fail everything, like some people in this room.
I did that. Yeah, I did that throughout until I went to college. Then I got really good grades in college and seminary.
Yeah, but you're still kind of,
No, I got A's and B's, and I got mostly A's.
Yeah, but did you put all the effort into it?
I put the A effort in. Yeah,
Joe.
I put the A in effort. So, anyways,
it would have been better if you said put the effort.
Yeah. So, yeah, this is really cool because especially like even in Bible college or in college, a lot of guys like, I'm just here to get my degree so I can get a job, so I can make money or whatever. Yeah. Listen.
Yeah, it's a means to an end.
That's not the point. Like the goal here is so that you can be equipped to make an honest and a holy living. Like the whole of your education, whether you're talking about, math or English or history or Bible, the whole of your education is designed to help you become a whole person intellectually, and in the right context, spiritually. And so you should think about and pray about like the end for which you're going through your education to not waste it.
Yeah. And now we see how progressive John Calvin is. Grant also by the enlightening of my mind. Enlightenment?
Well, yeah, he doesn't mean like...
No, he means that.
I don't think he means like you mean it.
No, he means the enlightenment of my mind, which otherwise labors under blindness, that I may be fit to, 1, acquire knowledge, 2, strengthen my memory faithfully to retain what I may have learned, and 3, govern my heart, that I may be willing and even more eager to profit, lest the opportunity which thou hast givest me be lost through my sluggishness. So I mean, these three. 1, okay, you're there for knowledge. You want to acquire that knowledge. And not only just to acquire, but that it should be strengthened. You should recall this later on.
And this isn't like, listen, one of the prayers that a good student will pray is, Lord, help me to remember the things I've studied. This is not the prayer of a righteous guy. Lord, just give me a passing grade. Mm-hmm. Like that's really like, okay, you want God to just give you a C? You didn't study, but you're praying. Okay, I'm not going to read the book. I'm not going to pay attention to class. I'm not going to study. But now you're going to pray that God let you pass? I mean, okay, but really the prayer ought to be.
That's arrogant too, right? The
a little presumptuous, yeah. Okay.
Oh, I did nothing all year. Lord, bless me in my laziness.
He doesn't have a spirit of enlightenment. He has a spirit of entitlement.
Good job. Bam. 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 Oh, you know what? Hashtag.
Bam? Hashtag bam? Oh. All right. So yeah, strengthen my memory, faithful to retain what I have learned, and govern my heart that I may be willing and even eager to profit. Because the temptation is laziness, sluggishness. Everybody knows. Every student knows this and every parent sees
exactly.
this.
And so we should be looking at these opportunities, this opportunity that our children have, that you have for this education. I mean, this is one... If Piper was to write a book, he'd say, "Don't waste your school opportunity. Don't waste your."
If Piper was to write a book,
yeah, because he's got like, "Don't waste your life."
He writes books like nonstop.
No, but if he had a book,
he has a book
that we'd read.
Yeah,
in the context of what we're talking about.
If he was writing this book, that's what he would say. Don't waste your education.
Don't waste your education.
That's right. And one of the things that I like here is that where does he say this here? Be pleased, therefore, to infuse thy spirit into me, the spirit of understanding, of truth, of judgment, of prudence.
Yeah.
And I like this because, think about how you're praying for your kids. Are you praying that they would be enlightened by God to understand both general revelation as well as special revelation, right? We're really keen to pray that they would understand special revelation in the Bible. Yeah. What about general revelation? What about math and science? And like sometimes... like people are so freaked out when they're sending their kids to like public school. Mm-hmm. And if they're sending their kids to public school, what are they praying?
Don't let that culture infiltrate my child.
Don't let my kid get pregnant. Right?
Maybe that's a prayer.
Maybe some steps before that. Yeah, they might be praying for some things not happening before that. Okay, so
okay, Joe.
So no,
I think Catherine's a good girl. I did not realize these are the issues.
There's no concern there. Catherine's a righteous girl. Mm-hmm. So Catherine's my daughter. Everybody, if you don't know what he's talking about. So yeah, we're praying that they don't mess up, that they don't get like lured in by the culture, that they don't get. So okay, that's good. You need to pray about those things. They'd be protected from the world and the influences, but you also need to be praying that they would have a spirit of truth, of judgment, of prudence, because ultimately that's what God will use to keep them on the path, right? That's what God does to equip people to know how to discern between lies and truth, between error and the things that are worthy of embracing. So we should be praying more specifically about our kids. And as students, we should be praying more specifically about them.
Exactly. So that, and I love how he ends this first paragraph, that lest my study be without success and the labor of my teacher be in vain. So there's two things. One, like, don't waste this opportunity that you have. This should be a successful time. You should come out with some measure of success. And there's other people that are laboring.
Yes.
There's other people that are laboring and giving of themselves.
Right.
And yes, they're getting a paycheck, but most times it's not, you know.
Well, around here, they're paid all right around here.
Around here,
yes.
Yes.
I ain't hearing it from around here.
No, you're not hearing it from around here?
I ain't hearing it. They make good money around here.
Okay,
These teachers. They can stop hey, guys, stop striking. You get summers off. And you make good money. You get your whole summer off and you make good money. Stop it.
So, anyways, but these are individuals that are laboring to educate you, to help you, to set you up for success in the future. And so, you know, don't waste this opportunity.
I love it, man. You don't want you're praying for the teachers that they would be honored in your students' response to them. Yeah. Right. I mean, it's just, I love it, Jimmy. I think that's really good. And then it goes on. So for those of you that are studying, right, in whatever kind of study I engage, enable me to remember to keep its proper end in view.
Yep. Here's namely, the goal. Yep.
To know thee in Christ Jesus, thy son.
Boom.
Hang on a second.
Boom.
Hang on a second.
Go ahead.
All right. So I like that there's a proper view. The proper end in view. You're supposed to keep that in mind, right? So don't let me go into my study here without knowing that everything I am learning in life is supposed to help me to know God.
Yep.
How's that going to work out with some of these classes that aren't, you know, like Sunday school? I mean, I can see how Sunday school would work, but then you're like, what about shop class? What about shop class? How's shop class going to help?
How is shop?
How is shop class supposed to be seen as if its ultimate aim, by God and by your own sort of approach is supposed to help you to know the Lord? How is shop class going to help?
Because some of these individuals are gifted in creativity, and some others have been gifted. Some others are not gifted in that way, and so in that you could celebrate the gift that God has given you to be able to. Take something, working hard with your hands and creating something. And that's
all right, that's an easy one. I'm sorry. All right.
Okay, go ahead. See, I gave you an easy one.
Right. Calculus.
Calculus?
Yeah. Or I'm sorry, I don't even know what that is.
Yeah.
Let's start with,
Let's start with something you know.
Okay, times. My times is.
Wait, you mean like
my
math?
Times is math.
Your multiplication table?
Yeah. So math, and then you've got different kinds of math and times. Like the times is.
Yeah, because because God created in an orderly way, and there's an orderly fashion, and we can now see that 2 times 2 is 4.
Times is. That's what I was talking about.
I just answered your question.
You said
multiplication table. That's what it's called.
Multiplication?
Multiplication table, yes. You remember.
It's times is.
Yeah, exactly. It's the whole thing. 1 through 10 here, 1
the
through
X's. 10. I got all the way up to the X's with like the number X and a number, but not like an X with an arrow. No arrows in any of the math I took. I never had the arrows pointing around. Never. No letters. Not in any math I ever took in school. There was never a letter or an arrow.
So wait, you never had pre-algebra, algebra?
Nope.
How did you get?
All right,
you have a GED, don't you?
Right, no. So here's what happened. So you know how I grew up. I did stuff on my own. So I would register myself for school. So when I went to high school freshman year, I took myself and I registered for my classes.
Okay.
And so I'm registering for my classes, and they said, "Oh, you're set up for pre-algebra." And I said, "Okay, but what's this thing over here? It's something called Math Workshop. What's Math Workshop?" And they said, "Well, that's for students that struggle." And I'm like, I struggle every day. And they said, no, what I mean is this for people like there's no homework in that class. And I went, oh, yeah, I'll be taking Math Workshop. And they let me take Math Workshop. And so I never had to do pre-algebra. I had 2 years of Math Workshop.
Is this why we're always... Is this why there's always a frustration come budget time and budget review?
No, there's no frustration. I'm fine. I'm never upset. I don't know about you guys.
Yeah. I mean, just the fact that your line item is already a little bit over, and you've got how many more months left in the year?
Well, sometimes, Jimmy, when you have a budget, there are expenditures on the front end of the year that take up more of the budget, and then there are less on the back end of the year, so it evens out at the end.
But here's the problem.
Yeah. So thank you.
Here's the problem.
Yeah,
you're supposed to have 0 for the rest of the year now.
Yeah, no, I'm not at 0 yet.
No, you are.
No, I'm not.
No, Brian already talked about it. We looked at
it's not a 0
report.
No. That would mean that I'm over.
Yeah, you are over.
I'm not over. Stop it. You're trying to make it drama on. Listen, Stop trying to pulpit and pen this thing.
No, I'm going to go ahead and screenshot your item. Your line item.
All right. So I love that. I think that's really good. I think you did a good job explaining that. Listen, every one of your studies, even if it doesn't have a direct line to like how to interpret the scripture or the person and work of the Spirit, all of these things exist within the realm of truth, within the realm of creation, and you as a redeemed person live in that realm of creation, and it will help you and serve you in knowing God.
And may everything that I learn assist me to observe the right rule of godliness. So not only this idea of not only knowing Christ, but knowing how to live for him in a way that pleases him.
Yeah. And I think that this is one of the reasons prayer is so important. The Puritans used to say this, that prayer is really a preaching to yourself in God's hearing. Right? Because what you're doing is you're remembering God's promises, you're orienting yourself to God's words and God's ways. And that's what we're doing here, right? When students pray it this way, you're agreeing with God's word, you're acknowledging God's ways, and you're saying, like, listen, I'm praying that God would help me to do this very thing. Yeah. Right? That I am learning godliness in practical, tangible ways as I follow Christ through my studies, through the arts, through the sciences or whatever. And he goes on, continues, and seeing thou promises that you will bestow wisdom on babes such as are humble in the knowledge of thyself and the upright in heart, while you declare that you will cast down the wicked and the proud so that they will fade away in thereir ways. So in other words, there's this principle in scripture that we see again and again, right? God exalts the humble and he crushes the proud. And so he says, knowing this, he says, I entreat that thou wouldst be pleased to turn me to true humility, that thus I may show myself teachable and obedient, first of all to thyself, and then to those who by thy authority are placed over me.
Look at that. So your schooling is also meant to instill this humility upon you. Yep. Humility first and foremost to God. You are humbled, teachable, obedient to him, but then also he has placed those with authority, that you are to then be teachable and obedient as well.
You're not my dad.
I don't have that's just it.
That's like a lot of kids have that attitude towards teachers.
The culture has changed so much, right? Where I could not say, I can't even imagine saying some of the things I hear kids saying to their teachers today, or the way they treat their teachers. Yeah, I would have gotten smacked. So like my dad would have just bam. Yeah. Yeah, try it again.
Like I could say whatever I wanted to teachers, and my dad wouldn't. Like, he would be like, "Hey, you better knock it off, or you're going to get in trouble. You're just going to reap the consequence." But if I were to talk disrespectfully to my dad or my mom, that'd be lights out. I think that would have been.
It was both for me.
Yeah, that's why your dad sent you to military school, so he wouldn't have to knock you out. So Sergeant, what's his face?
Sergeant Major Gissel, yes, as well as other upperclassmen who. All right, listen, you don't have a military school meant for. There's some really smart kids, and then there's those of us that are in a bridge program so that we can bridge the gap from where we are to where the rest of society is, and then you give all these kids swords and sabers that they hit you with the flat end of it.
I love that you were in the bridge program and I was in the quest program.
You were on a quest. At least mine was a bridge.
Yeah, like you knew where you had a specific charted path to go. I was on this like nebulous quest for, I don't know, dignity, but they had me in the quest program.
On a quest for dignity.
And I was just like, I ain't finding it. We were mess ups back then. Okay, maybe we still are a little bit.
By the grace of God.
All right, so
but yeah, there's people in authority.
Learn from them. They're there for you. And listen, maybe your teacher is a pill. All right, I'll go ahead and say it. I'm gonna go ahead and say it.
Go ahead and say it.
Maddie's teacher last year.
Oh, you can't say this.
No, I can't.
No.
Oh,
well, you can say it.
Okay. So Maddie's teacher 2 years ago. Pow!
Yeah,
awesome. Last year, she just didn't connect with Maddie. She just didn't connect with Maddie.
That should still teach you humility and respect.
And it doesn't matter, right? It doesn't matter. We have like Maddie, you got to listen. You got to show respect. You loved Mrs. Lesher the year before. And now this year, somebody you don't really connect with.
Yeah, Mrs. McCoy is just not kind.
Man, she is like the mean lunch lady.
Yeah.
But they've given her like an eraser and a piece of chalk. And so it's on now. Anyway, so whoever your teachers are, they're there for a reason. And you know what? Your hard teachers, your difficult teachers, the teachers that you don't really even enjoy, they are there for you to learn from. And maybe the biggest lesson you're going to learn is how to suffer well. All right, suck it up and suffer well.
And part of that then, be pleased at the same time to root out all the vicious desires from my heart and inspire it with an earnest desire of seeking thee. So using this opportunity, this humility, this being teachable and obedient, it should be checking your heart for your motives and rooting out those vicious desires and replacing it with an earnest desire of seeking after God.
There is this optimistic, like hopeful, Lord, I want to find you in all my classes. I want to find you in my Timeses. You know, I
can't believe you said that.
I want to find you in earth science. That was the science I took in high school. Earth science. I didn't take biology.
No, you did.
I did it.
You took the earth science.
I took earth sciences.
Earth sciences.
Yeah, I never had to dissect.
But you know what though? I mean, Joe, you know where everyone could find God, September 28th.
Oh man, I mean, well, there's only one place. Well, there's not. God's everywhere, of course. So obviously,
be careful.
I mean, I'm going to be very careful. God is everywhere. He is omnipresent, and He is especially with His people. But for those that are going to make the trek, you know, there is.
Oh, is that where God is?
California.
He'll be in California?
He's going to be in California.
When's that? September 28th?
September 28th in
Rancho Santa Margarita.
Is that how it is?
Yes, it's
It's too long. I can't remember. The West Coast Conference, Doctrine and Devotion, is going on. We're really excited about it. And we want you guys to register if you're in the area at all. And by area, I just mean if you're in North America. It's going to be a one-day conference from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. Jimmy and I are going to be preaching about how to contend for the gospel, right? How do you contend for the gospel against heretics and false teachers? But how do you contend for the gospel among your brothers and sisters when they are erring?
That's right. How do you promote unity within the Church of Christ?
Right. Because there are bad ways to try to promote unity. Yeah. And so we've been working hard on this in our ministry, and we've been working on some talks so that we can help and encourage other people to do this as well. And most of this is really challenging for us in the meantime. So we're learning a lot while we're doing this, but we want to share it with everybody. People can register. You go to doctrineanddevotion.com/west.
Yep. And you know what? Big thanks to Logos. Logos is going to be there. Logos is sponsoring this. They're helping us put this event on for you, and they're going to have a deal for you there.
Oh, listen, Logos loves them some D&D listeners.
Yeah.
They hook you guys up with discounts that you don't get anywhere else. That's the truth.
That's just it. D&D listeners are the best. Logos knows it. Logos is there.
Logos is the best. D&D listeners are the best because
the Jofo is the best.
That's right. Exactly. All right, Jimmy. So as we're wrapping this thing up, I lost my
Well, it says here, finally.
There it is.
Let the only end at which I aim be so to qualify myself in early life that when I grow up, I may serve thee in whatever station thou mayest assign me. Look at that.
Yeah.
That the only one, so that you're preparing yourself. You are preparing for what God has in store for you. You are preparing for the vocation that you have. You are preparing for your family. You're preparing for your ministry. And so this opportunity is not to be wasted. This is not a 18 years or 20 years or 24 years of a waste. Right? And then once you're done, then you can finally get on with your life. No, you're preparing for that segment of your life.
Right. It's like, people are like, well, what do you want to be when you grow up? When you're a little kid, people say like, I want to be a fireman, or I want to be a doctor, or I want to be a nurse, or whatever it is. And there's sort of a purity to it, right? I want to do that thing. And then as we grow up, it turns into like, well, I just want to make money. I want a job that's going to make the most amount of money. And like, that's all relevant. But the aim should be, I want to honor God in a vocation that He will prepare me for throughout my education.
In whatever station He has for me.
So here's the thing. You can find this entire prayer in the show notes. So go ahead, head on over to doctrineanddevotion.com if you want to read that. We're going to have a link for you so you can actually get the Tracts and Letters of John Calvin. I highly recommend it. They are wonderful. But as your kids are going back to school, or as you are going back to school, hey, Mo. That's right, Mo. We're talking about you. Mo from Japan just came over to Chicagoland. She's going to Trinity. She's a listener of D&D. As you are plugging away, you already landed. You're already here. Your classes are getting ready to start. Pray this prayer as you're going through your education there at Trinity.
Well, we'd love to hear your thoughts. You could follow us online on Instagram and Twitter at Doc and Devo, or on Facebook /Doctrine and Devotion. You can head to the website, doctrinedevotion.com. There you can contact us. You can sign up for the email blast or hit up the store, jofostore.com, and grab some gear. The first annual West Coast Conference is happening September 28th in Rancho Santa Margarita in California. Oh, there you go, Joe. There you go. That's really good. It's going to go really well with the background exit music that we're having on right now. Yeah, thank you, Joe.
Sorry about that.
Yeah. drvotion.com/west. Fresh pod every Monday and Thursday. Blog post on Wednesdays. Video content on Fridays.
We're not doing video content anymore.
Yeah, well, yeah. Like later.